Hey, I'm Christopher Wood, one of the founders of Caffeinated Drive-Thru Coffee and New Wave Coffee Roasters and Morning Bee Bakery and Bagelry. And you are listening to the Urban Voice Podcast.
What's up, beautiful people, the Wall YP fam? You already know it's your girl Empress D, and I'm so excited for this Community Streets episode because I am sitting here with my fellow friend, a fellowship member, a community member who is always in support of local small businesses, Chris Wood, also co-founder of Be Caffeinated.
Yeah, perfect.
He wears so many more hats, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about all the things that you're doing in the community. Mm-hmm. But first, I want to know a little bit more about Be Caffeinated. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah,
I have this amazing coffee.
Thank you.
What got you into the world of coffee, and was it a love for coffee, or was it the love for supporting the local businesses, and you just, how did those really come together to marry?
Neither, actually. So quick background, I got my undergrad in entrepreneurship, ended up getting a graduate assistantship to get my MBA at Southern Mississippi. Fell in love with kind of helping people through economics, financial literacy, entrepreneurship. We kind of went across the state of Mississippi and worked with high school students and all that. Mm-hmm. And then I graduated, and as most people with their MBAs do, got an awesome job at McDonald's. Didn't want to be there. I went home smelling at night like, frozen beef and grease. And then just one day I overheard my manager just kind of offhanded say that like 70% of their sales were through the drive-thru and not the walk-in. There's just like a light bulb that went off. I said that feels really significant. My roommate at the time, we had been kind of messing around with business ideas. We had our first business together called Bro Cones, which was a mobile alcoholic snow cone trailer.
Hey!
Yep.
And when you said roommate, is this your college roommate?
We were out of college at this point.
Okay.
Partially in college, partially out of college. So we were messing around with that, and we were like, what if we did a drive-thru? So we kind of started thinking, what's a drive-thru where you don't smell bad at the end of the night? And coffee. So there was a local place in South Mississippi where we were at called Javamo's, drive-thru coffee, known for their culture. So quit McDonald's, went there, learned the ins and outs of it with my roommate at the time. He also got a job there. I got married in October of that year, and then we decided to move up to Chattanooga because my parents had been here, and we knew how friendly it was to small business, and it's kind of where we went on vacations. We're like, why not vacation? We'll live where you vacation. Yeah. And then my roommate followed after as well, and now he's my business partner, and Be Caffeinated. So had some things happen. I tried corporate world, it was not for me. Kind of pushed me into small business, and we opened our first Be Caffeinated about 7 months after we moved here. So
awesome.
And then I fell in love with coffee.
Okay, got you. I'm a little disappointed because I wore my Chacos just for you.
I know. I worked out right before this. So,
well, you get a pass. You get a pass. But no, I feel you 100% on. I gave corporate a try. Yeah. And I just have too much soul for that place, man. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Yeah. But there's so many things that like stand out in your story, from you being able to kind of connect those dots, from just overhearing a conversation on significant metrics on that bring in revenue and tying in all of that. That's actually really when I looked away, I had a Raven Baxter moment. Like, what? Because my first job was crystals.
Okay. Yeah.
My first job was crystals. And talk about getting in the car smelling like onions.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like, literally would have to leave the shirt on the porch. Like, don't even come in the house smelling like that.
So it's got its own wash cycle.
Yeah. No, for real. Don't you dare wash other clothes with that. So I felt you smelling like just
it's bad.
But I kind of want to talk, like, what can you say to some young professionals that may just be graduating college? Because our young professional group goes from 20 all the way to 40.
Yep.
And I heard you say that you graduated college and you got a wonderful job at McDonald's. What was that like, and how did you stay focused to keep looking out for those opportunities and knowing that that was not your stopping point?
Yeah, so I was in a weird position because I knew I was probably moving soon, so I didn't want to get a career job in that town because I knew I didn't want to stay there. So I was looking for not career jobs, which the town I was in, it's a great town, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, but you either have like the kind of service side of things, or there's like there's a university there, there's hospitals, stuff like that. There's not really much in between. So kind of the only options were that. So I was more just trying to get through to when we would eventually move. But it was definitely a little disheartening at first to be like, I have a master's degree and I'm at McDonald's. But also, I mean, McDonald's was like a great learning opportunity. There's a reason they're so successful.
Yeah.
I learned that efficiency is their bread and butter. Like, their burgers are good or whatever, but efficiency is how they succeed so well. The way they store everything, organize everything, like, it's all very intentional. So but yeah,
that's a great point. Like, everything is, what's the saying? There's more to it than the eye it sees.
Yeah.
And I actually say that anyone that works in upper management in restaurant or food and beverage, hospitality, you have to experience a fast food, high volume, drive-through.
It's a whole different
It is
experience.
a different beast.
Yeah.
And I always say this too, to young professionals who are in like management positions and into like the hiring space. Folks who run a high volume drive-through, those are going to be like your project managers.
Yeah.
Those are going to be your people that can oversee and coordinate larger roles.
There's so many different balls in the air at the same time and things that have to kind of come together at the right moment, because if you have something done too early and you're waiting on other stuff, then it gets cold or it gets warm.
Or I answered the call too soon, but I'm pulled over here, now I need to...
Yeah,
exactly. It is a lot. And so I think that is like, just some encouragement for people who may be in roles that are not necessarily aligned with the vision, right?
Yeah, I would say you can learn something from everything. And I think going into everything with that learning mindset, and I think on one hand, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And on the other hand, everyone knows more about something than you do. And it might be that person knows more about like Magic the Gathering or about, dumbbell exercises or whatever it may be, but you can always learn something from anyone.
Absolutely.
And so I think that even in the moments where you feel like you're not where you want to be, just going about it with that mindset can be helpful.
1000%. I identify as a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
Like, I'm forever going to be a student. I may be at the beginning or the front of a room in many occasions, but I am learning from the audience just as much as I'm sharing my wisdom and my experience.
And I think once you stop that, you lose. Like, that is winning, is knowing that you're just always improving. So.
It's like the fuel to success.
Yeah.
Like, just continuing to learn new skills and ways of being and connecting and being efficient and all of that. So Be Caffeinated has a very strong mission of supporting local small businesses around the city. What are some ways and some of the initiatives that y'all have with Be Caffeinated to appease those goals?
Yeah, so like you said, we work a lot with other small businesses, especially with local nonprofits and creatives. We started something when we first opened this location, really about 5 years ago, called the Give Back Program. It was kind of the person that we were bringing on to be the manager here said the only way he would be manager is if he could start that. And we were like, well, that sounds awesome. So let's do it. And so it's kind of grown into its own beast to where now we have a cohort program for our nonprofit partners. It started in January, so we have 12 nonprofits that we work with. And we've integrated that with a nonprofit called Be the Change Youth Initiative. And their Ambassadors of Change program. So basically, we have all of these high school students that are local that also meet every month, and they are basically in groups making these fundraising activities to raise funds for the nonprofits we work with. So we've kind of figured out how can we take nonprofits and youth and small businesses and creatives, kind of mix them all together and use all of their strengths together to kind of build each other up. Because Chattanooga has the most nonprofits per capita for any city in the nation.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But also, that's a lot of people trying to get the same money.
Yes.
So, but the second you start seeing each other, like the other nonprofits, as competition, you lose then as well. So part of our goal is how can we use the same money but have it kind of overlap with all of the nonprofits and the businesses, and how can we embed for-profit business products and services with sort of outlet to raise funds for nonprofits. So like with our give back program, every month we have a drink that 50 cents of that drink goes to that nonprofit for that month. We have our bagels, the Bagels of Change. Part of that goes to Be the Change for food insecurity. So we're kind of trying to figure out and hypothesize how can we embed community enrichment and nonprofit assistance into every item that we sell.
Yes, I love that. And that's really one of the reasons why I wanted to sit down and talk to you, because you are one of the business owners who's showing the example of what it means to lead with purpose over profit.
Sure.
While profit is very important because we're here as a business to make money, but that purpose is driving the profit that you're making. Like you're saying, the coffee a month, 50 cents goes to it, the bagel for change. And the Be the Change initiative is really one of the most impressive initiatives I think that you're doing. And for the people that don't know, this initiative goes into schools and kind of covers their school lunch debt, right?
Yeah, so every year they have an event called Empty Bowls. Empty Bowls is actually a national organization or event, but they do the one in Chattanooga. And it's a big fundraiser that they auction off a lot of art. They have a lot of local restaurants donate food and drinks and stuff. And they raise money to pay down the Hamilton County food debt. So last October, Empty Bowls, we raised $35,000 to go towards the food debt. But basically, the way it works in Hamilton County, if it's a school that is not a free lunch or reduced lunch program, students are only allowed to acquire up to a $40 credit for their lunches, which when you break it down is basically like 4 days of breakfast, lunch, and lunch. And once you reach that point, they're not allowed to charge anymore. So you have students that are potentially going hungry because a lot of times they don't have food that they can bring with them from home. Sometimes that's the only food they even get that day. And so the real goal, so I'm on the board of Be the Change as well. Our goal is, this is kind of a Band-Aid solution, is paying down the food debt. The goal is to get every school in Hamilton County to be in a free lunch program.
Exactly.
Because then this isn't
for all the students.
For all the students. Like a student should not have to think or worry about, can I eat lunch today? Do I have enough money? Because it's hard enough to be in school and learn without having to think about
7 plus hours,
and your stomach's rumbling at you. So
hold up, sorry to interrupt, but I have to come on and tell y'all about all the events that we are having in April. This is a packed month because YP will be participating in the National Service Day, which will be April the 11th, but stay tuned on our announcements because we might have some different opportunities popping up as well. We also are making sure we file our taxes by April 15th. The Urban League of Greater Chattanooga has VITA, they're partnered together to offer free tax services for anyone that makes under $70,000 a year. And guess what? They do business taxes as well. I got mine done. You should go get yours done too. And then lastly, towards the end of April, we will be having our third Civics Power Bowl. I'm super excited about this event because this is my baby. The Civics Engagement and Advocacy Committee has been putting on the Civics Power Bowl, and it's your opportunity to share your perspectives and your solutions for challenges that the community are actually experiencing. We've had many representatives in the room. We've had community leaders, organizations, nonprofits in the room, and so it's really a great opportunity opportunity to come and share what you think should be happening in the community around us. We're also going to be building a report, so it's your opportunity to be included in this report. Don't let this opportunity miss you. Okay, anyways, I've said enough. Let's get back to this episode.
You know, for already a lot of disadvantaged populations, like that's an extra step that they really shouldn't have to worry about. And it's this compounding effect too, that it makes school harder, which makes, you know, the future harder. It makes everything harder.
So I have gotten the pleasure to really get to know you a lot closer because we are both in Leadership Chattanooga.
Yeah, in the best class ever.
2026, don't forget it. Has to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Honestly, after this year, I really think that we will go down in history as the best class ever.
Objectively.
For sure. Yeah. So recently we had the program day where we went to Capitol Hill, it's our day on the Hill, and we got a chance to meet with some of our Tennessee representatives. And I know you do a lot of work with the small businesses, but you mentioned working with some representatives here locally. What has that been like, you know, getting engaged, and why is it important for you to not only be involved with the local small businesses, but on the more civic side of engagement and advocacy? Yeah,
for sure. A phrase that gets said a lot that has really struck true with me is the most important government that affects your day-to-day is your local government. Like, obviously federal stuff is important, like, obviously it matters, but like your individual I guess impact is very, 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 very small compared to your local impact. And like in Hamilton County, we've had elections that were lost by 11 votes, or sometimes they were ties. So that, I mean, your vote literally matters. And not only that, but there's just a lot of people that are really trying to do good, especially in Chattanooga and Red Bank. I live in Red Bank, and so I've worked a lot with the local government there. And I think just finding people that you really resonate with their values and you vibe with, and seeing how they need help. Like the person we work with on the school board is Ben Connor. He's fantastic and like genuinely has the needs of the students at heart, and he doesn't just say it, but he like acts it. He shows up to these events. He's one of the co-hosts for Empty Bowls every year with Malcolm Harris. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I do. I know him.
So they're the two MCs for Empty Bowls every year. And yeah, I think that's just finding kind of your niche of where you can fit in, because we all care about a lot of stuff, but you can't super care about everything all the time, because you'll just go crazy.
No, for real.
So if we can each find the thing that we're like super impassioned about, super like emblazoned with passion for, and kind of just go all in on that, then as a community we're all having those kind of niches, and then we together do that. And then just voting. I mean, voting's so important. Telling everyone you know to vote. Guilt them if they don't vote.
For real, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, as the guy said yesterday, I don't remember which representative it was, but he said, it was, I don't remember. But he said, your vote, you don't matter as much as I do for politics because you're not voting, you know? And so my vote matters more than yours if you don't vote.
Exactly.
But if we both vote, we can either cancel each other out, or we can, you know, double up on a thing. So, voting matters.
Yeah. So. And like you said, basically the basis of it is only your action can show that you care, that you matter. Like, if you're not out there voting, you're not a part of the game. That's what it was. There was a lot of basketball wordplay going on. Like, either you in the stands or you on the court with it.
The outfit on. And
uniform. I agree. And you know, I think it's a lot to do with my, I guess, journey in entrepreneurship in the city, but also being a part of Leadership Chattanooga too. I'm just realizing how close we are to making those decisions. It's unfortunate that a lot of people do feel like, oh, my vote doesn't matter. But in local settings, you can be sitting right next to your representative at a coffee shop. You can be in the grocery store with your representative.
And we see Tim Kelly all the time.
All the
Whole
time.
Foods down the road.
And just like as a business owner, those lines do start to cross. There's no way you can be a business owner and only care about running your business. Because now we got zoning to worry about, we got infrastructure and development.
I mean, tariffs for
Tariffs.
us. You know, not to get into federal politics, but that has drastically affected everything about our business over the last year. So and that's big level, small level. You've got everything from new developments to tourism to, I mean, there's a lot of businesses, the decision to close down the bridge to repair it. Great decision, needed to be done, but also had consequences for businesses over there. And so it's like, how do you go about like long-term vision of city while short-term vision of making sure your small businesses that give the city the values don't get screwed over? And so I don't envy any of those politicians, because that's a lot of really difficult decisions, and there's no just clear cut, this is the right answer. But,
the biggest realization, I guess I'm having a couple realizations. One is that when we're recognizing that we're literally in the grocery store at a coffee shop with these representatives, that means my neighbor is making decisions for my whole town and my whole city.
Yes.
The realization is that I am also a neighbor, so I can also be engaged and active and making some change, impact, influence in these decisions that are made. And we should. And when you start thinking about yourself as a civilian, as someone who is part of a city, it's your duty to do so.
Well, and if you're, rubbing elbows with these representatives in the grocery store, who says that couldn't be you that people are rubbing, elbows with?
Exactly.
Like, anyone can run.
Exactly. And that is literally my second realization, that there's an organization called Run for Something.
Yeah.
I love them. It's Run for Something. And a lot of these positions go unopposed often.
Which is brutally bad.
Oh my gosh, when I found out about that. And so I actually ran into a childhood best friend last week, and she now has a middle schooler. Crazy that our friends have middle schoolers and high schoolers. But anyways, I started talking to her about school choice, because I'm also in a fellowship that focuses with NUL. Shout out to YPI. Our focus is on school choice, and so and we had a school choice day too with leadership. And so I started talking to her about that, and she was surprised at all of the choices that she didn't know she had. And so we were just joking, and I was like, yeah, girl, I understand, because when we were growing up, we were just having fun. Like, we were just kicking it outside. Cell phones were just, making their way then, like as a everyday thing for everyone to have.
Until I think my sophomore year in high school.
And I was in middle school, and so I was just telling her, I'm like, things are a lot more prevalent. Like, even our students are a lot more knowledgeable about what's going on politically, whether that be federally or locally, because the media is just so massive now.
There's so much that affects literally everyone, with how, not to get into the techno-bureaucracy dynamic, but like there's the giant lawsuit going on against Meta and TikTok and all that, of the kind of social media addiction. So I mean, you're having literally kids that are 3 with their iPads all the way up to adults, in their 60s, 70s, 80s, that it's really hard to put down that device. It's this weird techno-evolution of the Homo sapien species that 10, 20, 30 years from now, who knows how that's going to make everyone look.
I mean, I do feel like we living in some spooky times here, but I'm happy that people are now realizing how much everything affects us, how much politics is embedded in it, literally rules our everyday lives. And I don't think that has been clearly focused on in the past decades. Like, it's always been more conspiracy focused, but no, we're like, no, seriously, this is happening.
And I think the silver lining of COVID, like, I feel like when we came out of that time, everyone realized how important this is, just being around people and fellowship and community. And I think this big technology push has also shown people, social media lost the social part.
For sure.
And now you see, drinking is down, but third places are up. And so people want to hang out with people, they want to be around people, and you don't even have to have alcohol anymore for it.
Love that.
Coffee, tea, whatever. And so it's really interesting doubling down in the humanity of humanity. And I think that's really great. So,
which is interesting while we're in a time where the humanities are they're trying to discredit the value of the humanities. Another conversation that was sparked with our leadership group was the fact that the opportunity with being with that group, especially on our government day, and I think it's something great that I'm taking with me while I lead other civic things, is finding comfortability speaking with people across party lines. Sure. I heavily identify as the independent, but the opportunities that I've had have given me more comfort in, and I'm always optimistic, but I think people aren't honest about their subconscious biases, right? And so, and I've just been having to come to terms with that, and but that's allowed me to smite them down, And so I'm finding a lot more comfort with creating this community, humanity with anybody across the table. I don't have no defense up. I'm just here to shed light, speak some truth, learn some things, and I think we all have an important place in building out what our community looks like. And so part of the conversation, one of the girls, she was like, yeah, I feel like our generation, we grew up hearing too much about Republican, Democrat. And I was like, I'm just that's why I'm independent now, and it's really helped me just be even keel and just really want to hear the facts and hear the impact, positive impact.
I think it's not to discredit anyone, but it's a little naive to think everything has one of two answers.
Exactly.
Our world is so nuanced and so gray, and everything is, especially with how many people are in the world, to think just in America, even a little over 300 million people, that all of those opinions, voices, thoughts can find into ideologies. That's ridiculous. There's no way that can possibly hold true. And so instead, they've kind of had to double down on these hot topic ideas of well, this big idea, you're either this or that, and then that's what you vote about. But all of the 99 other things you may not agree with, but because of and they've kind of weaponized religion, they've weaponized beliefs and doctrines, and kind of moralized oh, if you don't vote this way, then you're a bad person. Or in certain institutions that are supposed to be separated from state, they're then encouraged to hey, this is the moral thing to do, is to vote for this person, even though they're doing very immoral things. And so it's just been a fascinating look on that, and I think I hope optimistically that it'll kind of shake out in the next 10 or 20 years to where people can have more nuanced opinions, and we can focus more on people being people rather than these numbers or these statistics or just vehicles to get money and votes and kind of to oppress others. So,
But this is why I love coffee shops. I love coffee shops because the conversations are endless that we can have here at this coffee shop.
Real quick. There was a concept back a couple hundred years ago in Europe specifically, and they called coffee shops penny universities.
Oh, yes.
And so basically, the one that I know is in London. They had a ton of coffee shops around, and each one was known for a different topic that people would go to talk about. So if you're really into politics, you go to that one. If you're really into sports, you go to that one. And I think that's the third spaces and third places are kind of still perpetuating that dynamic. There's so many awesome coffee shops in Chattanooga, and people are oh, they're your competition. I'm no. First of all, there's a lot of people in Chattanooga. I can't serve all of them coffee. I don't want to serve all of them coffee. But it's really cool being able to wake up in the morning and be what's my vibe today? Which shop do I want to go to? Or what do I want to talk about? And there's certain ones that are safe spaces for certain demographics, or that really perpetuate that feeling. And I love that concept of the penny university, where people can just come and talk about ideas and not be judged or feel unsafe, but can kind of have these conversations.
So even your space can be an investment to the community as well.
Absolutely.
Speaking of spaces, the bakery's opening up. How exciting is that? You are expanding.
It's exciting. It's been a long time coming. Had a lot of roadblocks, but I guess when this airs, we'll have already had our soft opening. But We plan to, at the very least, be open every Saturday in April at the bakery. It's called Morning Bee, 1743 Dayton Boulevard. We're going to focus on cinnamon rolls and bagels and muffins and scones and all that good stuff. And I think our first 3 sweet rolls are lemon blueberry, regular cinnamon roll with maple icing, and a Nutella espresso.
Ooh, of course you got to do the espresso for the teeny girls out there.
Yep.
And then the lemon's perfect for spring.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that I had a chance to like sit down and just learn a lot more about like where all this passion and purpose comes from, because you are a gem of a human.
Thank you.
I just love all the work that you're doing in the community. And as a fellow entrepreneur, like I hope that we just keep in contact. I know we will, because we're what? Part of the best class ever. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I'm gonna finish this coffee. This is the blueberry macchiato, folks. If you're wondering, fuego. Love it. Love it. Okay, well, I will give you back the rest of your morning.
Awesome.
And I'll see you around.